Hello and welcome to the House of Stitches. If you are a returning viewer, and I really appreciate you coming back and sticking and staying with me, because I tend to have such a sporadic recording schedule. So I appreciate you, and I hope we can have a conversation today, as much as this medium allows us to. And if you're a new viewer and you've stumbled into my podcast, I'm here to discuss my knitting projects, my crochet projects, and that's it for today. But sometimes I'll interject other things. I tend to record about once a month, once every 4 to 6 weeks. So maybe that will change after the first of the year. I'm looking at my 2019 crafty goals already. So I'm going to go ahead and get into, oh, I guess I should tell you my name. You can call me Karoda. My name is Karen, but I go by Karoda mainly. And Karoda, Studio Karoda is my Instagram handle. And Karoda 2, as in the number 2, is my Ravelry handle. And I have a blogspot.com under Studio Karoda. And mainly it documents my quilting journey. And it's kind of dormant, but I am going to try to start interjecting things about my knitting and crochet life. And on the blog, especially after the first of the year, I'll try again. So have you even been thinking about your 2019 crafty goals? Let me know what they are. I'm interested. I think for myself, I'm looking at making sweaters, hats, and I'm going to try, do I dare say it? I'm going to try socks again. You know, I've kind of let all of that go. And I guess I should apologize for any background noise. My family is here. I'm sitting in my knitting room with the door closed, but they're in and out. They're raking leaves. Grandkids are here. You know, it's just life. So I'll try to talk up. I know the audio is not as clear on this tablet. What do you record on too? I record on a tablet. It's kind of dated. It's getting up there in age. I'm thinking about having to replace it, and I'm not sure with what. Do I upgrade my phone? I have a Android, a Galaxy, Samsung Galaxy, not the latest, so I don't know whether to try to get a newer phone or get a camcorder, or upgrade my webcam. I don't know. I don't know what. What do you record on? So I'm kind of looking at an upgrade after the first of the year. But anyway, let me talk about what I am working on. Right after my last podcast, I decided to come up with a schedule for myself. I looked at all my whips, frogged some, frogged many, and thought, these are my absolute ones that I want to work on. Narrowed it down so I wouldn't be overwhelmed. And I had a schedule where Monday through Friday, I had to touch all of my whips. Except for one. Except for one, really, which I designated as my Sunday project. But all Monday through Friday, I would touch all my whips. Saturday would be, I would have focus on 2 of my projects. One was the poncho for my daughter. It's called Chatworth's poncho, which is a Lion Brands pattern. And Pure Joy, a shawl by Joji Locatelli. And on Sunday was a Helen Stewart pattern, one of her shawl patterns, called Ivy Over the Door. And it was part of her Shawl Society, the last one that she came out with. So that was going to be my Sunday project. That worked beautifully for 1 week. And then I fell off the face of the earth. One Monday I woke up and I felt horrible. Didn't know exactly what was going on with me. After about 2 weeks of not feeling, just kind of off, I ended up coming down with bronchitis. And that's what was going on with me, I guess. Fibromyalgia flare, blah, 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 blah. And I just kind of fell off. Didn't touch anything. No knitting, no crochet, no quilting, I didn't even think about it. I didn't have enough brain cells to concentrate on any crafting, any making. After about 3 weeks of that, it wasn't until I started taking an antibiotic and I was feeling better that I was able to pick up my daughter's poncho. It's a basic 2x2 ribbing pattern. And again, I'm going to apologize for all the noise in the background. The family. Anyway, they know when that door is closed that I'm recording, but I think they're just pretty much oblivious to what I do in here. I'm in my what is called the knit room or knitting room. It's a spare bedroom that I've used for my crafting. But anyway, I picked up my daughter's poncho, and all I could see was the mistakes in it. Now, it asks me to find them now. I can't find them. But at the time, all I could see was the mistakes. Jacked up stitches I had repaired. They asked me to find them now. I can't. Anyway, I decided I would use this like a sock blank. So I just kind of frogged it. It's in the state of being frogged. Yeah, I'm frogging it. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. On this podcast, I'm frogging this bad boy. But I decided I just wouldn't frog it. I would just use it like a sock blanket and just kind of just kind of knit right off of it. So I started another new fresh ball of yarn and started over. And my goal was to get to where I left off on the other one that I'm frogging as quickly as possible. As quickly as possible. So that was my goal. And I'm almost there. I love this piece. No drop stitches. This is the front side. And this is the left side of the poncho, which is, like I said, a basic 2x2 ribbing. And it is monotonous, and I've been monogamous on it. But this was just about all that I can hang my hat on. Yes. Quickly.
Your sponge was in the sink.
It was.
Yeah.
I don't want that then. Because it's been in the sink. Okay. Please throw that away.
Throw this away.
Okay, bye. Basic 2x2 ribbing. And my tension is wonderful. I love it. Of course, this is only like my 4th time starting this. I bought the yarn about a year and a half ago. My daughter requested this poncho, and I'm determined to have it finished by the end of the year. I am. And I'm knitting these on my Knitter's Pride cubic needles, US size 10. I think that is a 6.0 millimeter, I believe. Yeah, and I love them, and I love working 10-inch straights. Love these cubic needles, love them, and I probably will be buying more. I probably will be. I'm going to probably buy them as needed, but I do love them. I truly do love them. The point on these are very sharp, but not so sharp that they're drawing blood. I've had some metal addies that drew blood.
Oh, Mama.
Yes, sir.
Can I have these?
Yes, you can.
Can I
Knock
have
yourself
the
out.
orange?
Yes, you can have. Close the door. Sorry. I hope I get to upload this. So many interruptions. But anyway, the yarn is Lion Brand Vanish Choice. It's acrylic, but it mimics a tweed. It's wonderful. Slides wonderfully on these needles. But yeah, I would recommend these for new knitters. I really would. I like the way they behave. Sometimes the metal needles are so slick that they slide off too fast for a new knitter such as myself. And even though I've been doing this for a couple of years, I'm so green at it. Knitting is not as intuitive to me, or for me, as crochet is. Knitting is all about the finished product. Crochet is the process. I love the process. It's sort of like my zen out kind of thing, you know. This is sit up and pay attention. Even as something as basic and boring as a 2x2 ribbing. I have to have 60 inches of this sucker. Yeah, 60 inches of 2x2 ribbing. So anyway, yeah. But I've been determined, and this is all that I've been able to pick back up in the last 3 weeks or so. Yesterday, I said, okay, I'm going to try to get back on schedule. So I looked at all my whips, and I'll go ahead and discuss those with you now. And I thought, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? I know I've shared this one before. But this, again, crochet, even though it's a lace pattern, it does require a little bit of attention, simply because the yarn is so thin, and it is lace. And I think it's a 4-row repeat, and I have to have 19 or 20 repeats of 4 rows. So, but this is, I can look at this, I can read the stitches in crochet so much better, and I know where I'm at, and fixing mistakes is easy, and even if I have to frog a few rows, fixing mistakes is just so much easier. But anyway, like I said, I know I've shared this before with you all, but I'm still working on it. And I'm going to pick it back up. This is a gift knit. Again, I want to have all my gift knits out of the way, off my plate by the end of the year. I do. The gift knits that are already in progress. So, but yeah, I don't remember what this yarn is. I do know it's a silk and wool blend. I love this designer's work. This is my first pattern by her. I said it was not going to be my last. It's a download from Etsy. She is on Ravelry, but when you buy her patterns, it takes you to her Etsy shop. And it is BERNIOLIES Designs. BERNIOLIES Designs. And I'm not sure if that reads backwards on the screen. I'm not. To me, it's backwards, but, you know, it may be recorded differently when it uploads. But she has a lot of lace weight wraps that I just absolutely love. But, like I said, this is my only and first pattern of hers, but I hope it's not going to be my last. So that is crochet, and I'm doing this on a Brittany hook. Look at that handle. I love that. And it's a 4.0 millimeter. Took some getting used to a little bit. You know, you can see how straight it is. You know, but it's very pointy. So it goes in those lace stitches great. So, and I bought this at my local yarn shop when I had a local yarn shop. You know, I still can't get over the fact that I live in a city, an urban area, the largest city in the state, and we do not have a local yarn shop. Can't get over that. But Lexington, which is 2 hours southeast, I guess, second largest city, they have a yarn shop. They may even have two, but I know they have a local yarn shop. Yes, I have to now drive 30 miles outside of my city, 30 minutes outside of my city to go to a yarn shop, which I guess now can be considered my local yarn shop. It's called Friends and Fiber in LaGrange, Kentucky. Really nice ladies, and they have a big old round table in the front of the shop at the window, the street side, you know, right by the front door where people sit and gather and crochet or knit. And the ladies there are so helpful, so helpful. If I drove, I would probably go every week to their knit night or their knitting sessions, even during the day. If you're new here, I don't drive. I had to suddenly stop driving a couple of years ago due to my left eye, vision in my left eye, losing it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I live in a city that doesn't have that's the real crisis. That doesn't have a local yarn shop. That's the real crisis. So anyway, that's what I'm crocheting this on. And this is just in a Ziploc bag. Yep, that's what I use. One of the things I use. That's a mofo, so I'll wait and share that one with you. Yeah, I did say mofo. Mofo stands for mostly finished. Okay, my Saturday project I keep in this bag. These are linen bags that your sheets come in. I love using these. I absolutely love them. They're clear. I can see what's there. And most of my whips sit on the floor by my chair that I'm in. That way, I can kind of facilitate working on them a little. I don't have to hunt them down. Now, sometimes I'll take them in another room where there's a TV, but I always return them here. Anyway, my next project is on these two yarns. This is Cloudborn. Oh, it's so soft, so soft. Which Cloudborn is a yarn that is, I think is made for Craftsy.com. Craftsy/Blueprint, whatever they're calling themselves these days. It's so confusing. But anyway, this is Cloudborn yarn, which makes the third or fourth time I've purchased Cloudborn. I absolutely love it. And when they put it on sale, it is the price is very compatible with any big box yarn price. And I think it's a better quality yarn. It's really quite soft, and if you like working with, animal fibers or even silk wool blends, I think this is 100% merino. Again, lace weight or fingering weight, maybe. Fingering weight, I guess. Yarn. But I absolutely love it. And this is what I made. This was supposed to be my autumn shawl. Well, I don't think we've had much for autumn. It's already below 40s here and dropping down into the 30s. Anything below 40 Fahrenheit to me, I can't take it. I don't like it. Do I dare say it? I hate winter. I won't harp on it, but I do hate winter. I've lived here all my life. I can't get used to winter at all. But anyway, this is my Pure Joy. I haven't gotten that far on it. Like I said, this was on my schedule was only good for 1 week before I bottomed out. But this is the front. With this, I learned to just do a garter tab cast on, which is what you do for crescent shaped shawls. And I learned to do wrap and turn. Knitting these on my Knitter's Knit Pro, Knitter's Pride, I get those confused. Interchangeable wooden needles. Great point. This yarn behaves beautifully on this yarn, on these needles I mean. Slides wonderfully. Great over the joins. Love it. Love the cord. Everything just is behaving just perfectly. But yeah, now I tell you the problem I had. I picked this up yesterday to try to figure out where I was. Reading the instructions, trying to look at the work. I don't read knitting stitches that well, so I'm not sure which is my wrap and turn. I think it's this one, but it could be this one. But something made me put a marker here. I have no clue why. One reason I think this is the wrap and turn is the gap that it creates. I'm going to have to review my YouTube videos because I don't remember exactly how to do a wrap and turn. I remember being excited that it was easier than I thought and that I was doing it and that I was beginning to create a wedge. You know, it's the little things that make me happy. So yeah, I was really happy. I remember being really happy that I'm understanding the directions. Hey, so I'm rocking this. Yeah. I think it's mainly done in garter stitch. Yeah. So it has a distinct front and back. Wrong side and right side. That's the wrong side. This is the right side. See, and at first I was a little concerned about the holes, but they're supposed to be there, and so I did it right. It creates a little lace bar that divides the segments. So yeah, I was really happy. So I'm gonna try this today after I get through recording and hope that I don't mess it up. Pray for me, y'all. So, now, the work that I had reserved for my Sunday was, like I said, the ivy over the door, Helen Stewart. I'm going to need you all to talk me down off the ledge here. This is, I can't tell you how many times I've restarted this. Okay, I was rocking this. So proud that the fact that I had not made any mistakes. And when I said that, I shouldn't have said that, but I did say it. And I messed up. I have no clue what I did here. See those little holes right here? Can you see them? I don't know if it's loose tension. It doesn't look like loose tension because I also dropped a stitch in that same row. Probably trying to binge watch TV or something. Or maybe I was just, sometimes when I can't sleep, I come in here and try to knit, but maybe I was drifting off to, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. But it bugs me. Now, the question I'm going to pose to you, because perfection is the enemy of done. So the question I'm going to pose, do I just keep going, try to jack these stitches up somehow, and, you know, by darning them, and just keep, now this drop stitch, of course, I can put it back on the needle, but these holes have to be darned. They're going to need some work. So do I keep going? Now my tension is not the greatest. Working with this, it's a sock yarn. And it is called, I don't know if it's discontinued, but ELANN.com. Elan. Goes from a black to a gray. It's marled. I love it. Love the color. I did a swatch, and I blocked the swatch. And once it's blocked, oh my God, the fabric this creates is just absolutely wonderful. It has a very nice drape. I wish I could, I've lost the swatch, but I did block it, and I was like, whoa. So I was determined to do, it's a wrap. It's a rectangle wrap, the shawl is. And I absolutely love it. I guess I should show it to you, huh? But these holes are like neon signs blinking in my face. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I don't. Please help me. Please just say, Karen, I need permission to go on. You can fix it by darning it later. But once I put, I've counted my stitches too. Once I put this back on the needle, I'm going to have too many stitches in this section. That's why I have all of these place markers, because it was helping me know where I am in the pattern. So once I put this drop stitch back on the needle, I'm going to have too many stitches. And yes, I guess I could probably knit two together. With this shawl, I learned to knit front and back. So, and also purl front and back, I believe. I believe that's one of the stitches. So that was really, you know, that was fun. I like learning. Like I said, knitting is, you better sit up and pay attention, girl. Even with the most basic 2x2 ribbing I just showed you. But yes, so anything more complicated than that, you know I'm going slow. I'm paying attention. Do not disturb. I cannot watch TV. I cannot listen to a book on tape. Do not try to hold a conversation with me, which my family does try to do. So I just kind of, you know that hand gesture? I don't know, do you ever give your family the hand? Talk to the hand kind of thing? It's like, just, not right now. Just give me a minute. I'll be with you in just a minute. So I'm knitting. I need a sign right outside my door. Just, I can hang it on the wall, and when I'm in here, I close the door and I put on air knitting. Something like that. Anyway, so this is this. And let me go ahead and show you really quickly the shawl. I know I've shared this with you before. I'm trying to keep all the patterns together in here. That's it. I love it. So I'm doing this part down here, and you can see how the colors change. Well, when I get up here, my yarn will be a blue and gray, whereas the bottom will be gray and black. So can't wait to, I really am looking forward to wearing that and finishing that up. But do I dare start over? I'm only an inch into it, so I could start over. The question is, how do I handle mistakes? How should I handle mistakes? Now, I can understand you finished a garment and you find a mistake, or you mostly finished and you find a mistake. But when you are starting out and you start out making mistakes, is it best to start over, or do you just keep going? Do I tink back? I don't know how to tink back, especially with making those front and back, you know, the knit front and back stitches. I'm not sure. Tinking back is a little different, you know what I'm saying? I think. Either way, it's going to be a learning process. Maybe I'll try tinking back, and if I get confused, then I'll go ahead and frog the rest of it and start over. I don't know. Help me out, you all. Help me out. Okay, what else do I have to share with you? I have two other things. My mofo. A mofo is a mostly finished object. Again, in a linen bag. And this is a gift knit. I need to seam it together, and it is done. It is done. A friend requested a scootie. What is a scootie, you ask? It's a scarf and hoodie combination. Well, maybe. Can show it to you. I did it in the granny stitch, which I absolutely love. I love the granny stitch pattern. I really do. Okay, here we go. And she wanted it, requested it, that it be done in a purple. I didn't think I had enough of the purple yarn, so I used some Noro with it. Yeah, kind of goes. I was thinking about putting an edging on it here, but I think it would be too much of a visual hindrance if I did that. And I think it comes out just enough to block a wind, even though it has these holes in it. I think the wool is heavy enough to kind of, you know, keep you warm, keep the heat in. And I'm thinking about putting a tassel. See that? I think it'd be really cute with a tassel. So that I think I'm going to do. I've never made a tassel before, but I think it needs one. But I love it. This granny stitch, I want to make a scrappy granny stitch blanket for a queen size bed. Yeah, I love this pattern. I also want some granny stitch clothing. And I want to make a skirt and a cardigan. I don't know the young lady's name, but she has a podcast called HG Designs. And I think she's going to release, if she hasn't already, a pattern for a granny stitch cardigan. And I think when I do that, I'm going to try to create a skirt. I can see, not a long skirt, but just maybe a long skirt. I don't know. But I want to wear a skirt with some leggings or some tights. I tend to wear tights throughout the winter. So that's what in boots, or I used to wear clogs a lot, but I need a new pair of clogs. But anyway, so that's what I want to wear. And that's getting into my 2019 goals. Let me not get ahead of myself. I was talking about this granny stripe and the granny squares. I tell you, like I said, I want to focus in 2019 on creating sweaters, and I want to have at least one skirt. Ever since I saw Suzanne of the Knit Lib podcast, she did, I think it was out of scrap yarn, she did a skirt, and ever since then I've wanted a skirt. And I just would love that. I just would love it. And so so I'm thinking about one out of the granny stripe. I want to make a blanket with the granny stripe, and some other cardigan, other clothing. I tell you, Clarissa Beth of the Crochet Cakes podcast, she has a dress made out of the granny squares, small granny squares, a dress kind of tunic thing. I'm not sure if she's released the pattern yet, or if it's even one of her patterns. I can't remember, but I did see it on her podcast, and I fell in love with that as well. So I'm kind of going to be all about the granny stripe, I think, next year. Yeah, the granny stripe, granny squares, I love them. I love them. So anyway, the yarn is Blue Moon Fibers. It's called, on their base called Silky Victoria, which is a wool silk blend. And the color is called, it's being washed out. It's a very rich purple. It's called Her Royal Highness Purple. And if you know my friend, she is a very royal highness. And I'm blending it with this Noro, which is also a silky wool blend. But it's kind of rough. It's kind of scratchy. So, but not so. It's just, neither one is as soft as the Cloudborn, I will say that. The yarn by Craftsy. But, yeah, so that's it. I may make her some mittens. I don't know. That's doing too much. Maybe a hat. You think I got enough to make a hat? Maybe. Well, she has the hoodie. She doesn't need a hat. I don't know. Boot cuffs? I don't know. Fingerless mitts, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, all I have to do is sing this, and it's ready to be gifted. So that's my mofo. And that's it. And my next, I'm not sure if it's going to be on my hook or on the needles. My next project will be with this yarn. I purchased 3 skeins of this at Friends and Fiber in LaGrange, Kentucky. The one that I had to drive 30 minutes to outside of Louisville. My granddaughter picked this out. She's 8. She picked this out. So I have 654 yards. I initially wanted to make her a sweater, but I don't think I have quite enough to make a sweater for her. I want to make the 10-12 size. I thought about a shrug. She's really into leg warmers and boot cuffs. Oh, that's my one finished object. I'll try to insert a picture. It is on my Instagram feed, but my granddaughter requested a pair of leg warmers, and I made them out of one of the Karen cakes, And what I did when I first crocheted it, it was all in purple. You know how the colors will change. And I thought, oh, I don't want to do that. I want to make use of the striping, the colors. So what I did is separated all of the colors and wound them into tiny balls and created a stripy, where I could have control over the stripes, a stripy set of leg warmers for her. She danced around in them. It took me about 3 days to do them, and she danced around in them and wore them to school that Monday. I think I started them like a Friday night or something and finished them by Sunday. So, but yeah, so this will be for her since she picked it out. So I'm not really sure. You know, if you have any suggestions, I said I was going to call them to see if I could get another, if they had any more of this in. But if not, what can I do with 654 yards for a little girl? So that's going to be my next cast on or hookup. So that's it for me. So I wanted to talk a little bit about other aspects that I'm thinking about incorporating into either my House of Stitches episodes or either starting a whole different channel, I guess. I've been looking at Booktubes, and I want to maybe either discuss what I'm reading or what I'm binge watching. The Drunk Knitter has started, The Drunk Knitter. That's the name of the podcast. I'm not sure what her name is. I can't remember. She started an episode. Part of her episodes will be binge knitting, and it's what she watches while she's, binge watching while she knits. And her first one was on the Haunting of Hill House. My youngest son had me watching that, and we finished the first season. A great surprise ending, but I do recommend it and it's not your typical, to me, it's more a psychological haunting, but you don't really understand what's happening until like the last third of the last third episodes, which I think there are either like 13, 14, 15 episodes. So you have to kind of go through the haunting first to kind of get to what's going on with the people who are being haunted. It involves a family and a house, of course. But I was really pleased. I think it parallels The Shining in many ways. I think the movie is a shout out to The Shining. But that's my take on it. Right now I just want suggestions for what you're binge watching or what you're watching. I have Netflix, I have Hulu, I have Amazon Prime, and HBO. So if you have any suggestions on any of those, let me know. I'm always looking for something good. I can tell you what I've already watched. Luke Cage, which they have canceled. I'm very disappointed. Very, very disappointed in that. I didn't even know I was a superhero fan. Again, my son got me into watching Luke Cage, and I loved it. So from there, I started watching Jessica Jones, which is another Marvel superhero, which is not canceled. So anyway, those two I've watched. I was waiting for the next season of Luke Cage, but it doesn't look like there's going to be one. I'm through both seasons of Jessica Jones. Insecure, which has a very short season. Very short season. My daughter got me into watching Insecure, which is an HBO show. What's up with Atlanta? Is it coming back? What's going on with Atlanta? I love that. I love that. Donald Glover. I think he's brilliant. Anyway, What else? Oh, Walking Dead. I was really underwhelmed with Rick's last episode. However, I think he's going to come back. He's going to come back. Yeah. So I think the ratings have kind of dipped on Walking Dead. So maybe they were building up Rick's last season. But I was really underwhelmed with how that ended. So I watched that. What else do I watch? How to Get Away with Murder. I'm watching that, which I think has an episode or two left. What else? Oh, I tell you what. I watched, it's an Australian show called Glitch that was on Netflix. I think maybe 1 or 2 seasons. I know one. I think one. I thought that was good. And that's about people coming back to life. People who have been dead in some cases just a week or a day, and some people hundreds of years. But it's very, very good. Very good. Has a little comic humor. It's not scary. It's not that kind of movie. Again, it's just interesting. It's interesting. I had not seen anything like it. But yeah, if people are coming back to life, and it's, it involves a mad scientist and limitations and boundaries and borders and all those things, and justice. But yeah, I would recommend Glitch. Yes, what else? I don't know. Let me know what you're watching, what you're binge watching. I'm always looking, I like stuff that's gripping. I tell you what I thought was really good.